If you live in a city, as most Canadians do, you're likely familiar with its soundtrack. A mix of trucks, horns, streetcars, and construction. The totality can be headache-inducing. But imagine if someone could take all that noise and transform it into something special. A rich sonic portrait. The man who invented Guitar Hero has done just that, all with the help of a cast of thousands.
Well, I never really knew about this place. I felt really excited coming here today, but I wish it was on a school day. I felt really excited that it's going to be played tonight for all the audience that's going to be here tonight. My name is Gabriel. I'm 10 years old. I'm in grade 4. I play the piano, the recorder, and a little bit of guitar.
So how are you this morning?
We're gonna go. I'm fine.
Good. Great.
Yeah, good.
Good. The visuals are not 100% done, so don't worry, but they will be.
By tomorrow? That's great.
By tonight, yeah.
I'm looking forward to it.
Actually, the CN Tower is 100% working.
Really? So, great. God, you must have been going crazy with all this
That was
stuff.
crazy, yeah. People all over the world who are going to be watching this live, you know, getting all those elements, the CN Tower, the music, the electronic sounds, the visuals, to be perfect, to stream out online with no glitches so that people sitting in London or in Shanghai or wherever can watch this.
We're listening to the first attempt that has ever happened to bring an entire city together to actually compose a piece of music. And the reason it's the first time, of course, is because now technology has made it possible. It's a very bold thing to do. You know, it's a very complicated thing to do. And we couldn't do it without the Media Lab at MIT and Todd's incredible experience at all of this.
This is the MIT Media Lab, and it's a pretty unusual place, actually. Over the years, what it's allowed me to do is to imagine the music I hear in my head. I'm first and foremost a composer, so I love just hearing music that hasn't been made before. I've been drawn to do some unusual projects over the years. I've done operas with robots. I did an opera about the brain where the public helps to make part of the project. This one I knew was going to be unusual, but in many ways it was more unusual than I expected. So just literally writing music about the city and taking the sounds of the city and having the music and the sounds meet in the middle. That's kind of what the piece is about. You know, this whole piece is about, literally about making music out of a city. I love this app. Yeah, I can add color, and we can make it louder and softer with this. The texture one's really just the way it looks. It's like a watercolor where you blur the lines and then it comes back. So with this project, I said what I'd love to try is to see if we can find a way that in making this piece, there's a new kind of collaboration, a real back and forth that we can establish between myself making the piece, my team here at the Media Lab who are going to work with me, and whoever in Toronto wants to participate, regardless of whether they're in the orchestra or trained or in some other kind of music ensemble or simply like music, or maybe even if they don't like music.
First, me and Andy, we were kind of thinking about what to do. We were trying to We were trying to make some music. Whoa. I forgot how loud it was.
Oh, what? No.
Yeah, we need something else.
Well, hyperscore, instead of actually writing the notes down, you get to actually draw the notes, and it's a really cool program because it's a unique approach to writing music. It's not just the old way of writing notes, which is fine too, but it's just a more interesting way.
So first you have to start out with the bass, so pick your instruments of the instruments, and then you pretty much just have to put them where you want, make them sound nice, make them however you want it to sound, and make it interesting. And then we named it the Art Gallery.
Not only is, I think, Toronto a kind of sound laboratory, but this project and hearing people's sounds and listening to Toronto has made me listen to the world around me in a very different way. So surprising, depending on where you are, how easy it is to identify where you are just by hearing, a second of sound. Oh, that's Chinatown. Oh, that's the subway. And wait, if I know what stop that is. Oh, that's Cherry Beach. I mean, it's remarkable. It's an entire symphony just listening to the city. So what we're going to do today, in this little bit of time we have together, got all these recordings from around town. So one of the tricks is how to take a real recording from around town and turn it into music, and especially orchestra music. Often the music, I imagine, can't easily be played with the instruments that exist today. So often the idea comes to me with a sense of, oh, I love the way that sounds, I like the way it feels, and here's the way it should be played. So I have to invent that too. Okay. Frankly, with music like that, who needs nature? That's like much better. So for the last months, different people have been sharing their ideas about the sound of Toronto in different ways. And you're actually the only group of people who've made your own little pieces or big pieces with your idea of what Toronto sounds like to you. What I'll do after today is listen to all these pieces and find a way to make them part of this big symphony that we'll play in March. And so the first one is called Art Gallery. And it's by Gabriel Adam and Andy Quach. Are you here from 4th grade at Gosford? You want to stand up? So, Gabriel and Andy. Where are they? Right here. There you are. Hi. They're in the front row. And so, let's take a listen. So this one's going to be played by our ensemble. It's called the Art Gallery. Stand up. Stand up. into a quiet place, maybe for days, weeks, months at a time, and imagining this sound and working it out with a pencil and a paper or maybe a piano and getting it just right before you had to share it with anybody. And I still love to do that. This is a kid's idea of an arcade. Didn't say where. And actually the arcade kind of sounds nice with the art gallery.
Butterflies are a hugely important aspect of any performer's life. You know, when you stop getting butterflies, you probably get pretty boring on stage. To be honest, that's the adrenaline coming up that gives you the possibility of doing something a little bit out of the ordinary, possibly even better than you expect.
I asked the flutes to play longer there because I think you want it longer.
He played like triple fortissimo. I mean,
Yes,
just,
as loud as you can. Loud.
Have them stand up.
In
maybe?
the flutes, loud, long marcato. You know, this place.
Okay. Could they?
Do you want to stand up? Or put your bells in the air at least.
If there were, I mean, everything sounds fantastic.
Yes.
The hardest part is section 2.
For you technologically. Yes.
No, I think it's
Just to make it work.
yeah, and I think the question is maybe it's everybody playing out a little more. Is I just want to make sure the focus is on the orchestra and not just on the sounds.
Yes. Okay. 2, 1, 6. Yep. Yeah. 2, 3, 4.
By the end of the evening, they don't expect, you know, pretty tunes anymore. They kind of absorb an experience, rather like one does when one's walking down the street.
At the end of the day, this piece has to be something that stands on its own as a piece of music, and that's the bet, that it will be something that feels like we all made it together and none of us could have made it alone. Good to see you. Your piece is like, there's something called Section 4, where all the hyperscore pieces are, and yours comes on first.
Yay!
It's kind of one of the hits.
Yay!
Yay, it's true.
I was a little nervous, a little shaky, a little proud, a little happy, a little excited. It was awesome.
Oh, that's so nice.
Thank you.
Thanks. And thanks for the piece.
Okay, let's do it. Here we go. Okay?
Sounds great, everybody. Thank you.
Okay, good luck, everybody. Thank
luck.
you very much. Let's take a break.
Coming up next week on 16 by 9, the wonder drugs that might make you uncontrollably violent.
Over 90% of the school or mass shootings, the perpetrator is usually on one or other of the antidepressants or the mood stabilizers.
Why would you approve a drug for depression that's going to cause agitation, throw you into an agitated depression, which is the most dangerous state in psychiatry?
But he seemed detached from the fact that he had stabbed his friend. The boy attempts suicide, mutilates himself by slashing his arm.
You don't have to show a lot of value for a drug to be approved. All you have to really show is that it's better than nothing and relatively safe.
So Drug company has 2 studies that show that there's a benefit as a result of this drug, but it's got 10 studies that show that there's a problem with this drug. Does the drug get approved?
The drug certainly could still get approved.
The FDA didn't really want to approve the drug, but felt that because it just somehow managed statistically to look significant, they felt they had to approve it.
This really does put the drug companies on top. They are the people to be pleased.
It's practically impossible to show, in the short term even, that psychiatric drugs are helpful. It's impossible to show in the long run that they're helpful, and it's easy to show in every single study they're harmful.
We hope you'll join us for that story next week on 16 by 9. In the meantime, that is our broadcast for tonight. Head to our website, global16by9.com, to see a conversation with the producer of our story on online gun sales. Until next Friday, I'm Carolyn Jarvis. From all of us here at 16 by 9, thanks for watching.